The following is not meant for children, has been edited by Cute Stuff, and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back! I am MaesterAelix, and this is MaesterAelix's Build Love Time, or better known and funner to say as MaesterAelix's BLT. The videos in this series where I go over character builds for some of my favorite RPGs. In this video, I plan to show you, step by step, how to make a character build that I really enjoy, and explain why I enjoy it, and hopefully you will too. Now, I like to make fun and flavorful character builds. Something that leans more into role-playing the game as opposed to role-playing the dice. However, it never hurts to give yourself some numerical advantages from time to time. You know, as a treat. Now, my way is far from the only way to build characters. This is just one character built in a way I think is fun. Hopefully, I've done a good enough job that you should want to play and enjoy this character too. However, feel free to make changes to things to make it a character you do want to play. As I go through this build, I'm going to go into detail onto what I've selected and why I've selected the things I did. But what I won't be doing is reading the books to you. First off, that's very boring. Second, that removes your need to get the books on your own. I love these games, and I'd love for you to support these publishers, so please, go buy their books. Now, let's get everything laid out and shuffled up and ready to go, and build ourselves this BLT.
Optimus, Stormblade reporting in. I don't see any Decepticons here, but I heard of this place, Daytona, they might strike. Permission to scout ahead.
This episode is dedicated to some special people. To my friend Tempest over on my Transformers Play by Post server, whom has helped me with more than one of my BLT builds, and this week artist, Aid Lasili. Aid has helped me out in a pinch where I have been a very bad YouTuber and didn't have art ready, and she helped me out in a pinch. So I decided to make her a featured artist, not only to help spread the word, but to help her directly. I'm dedicating to paying real human artists for real human art. Today's BLT is for the Transformers RPG by Renegade Games. Today's character is Stormblade, the Speedster. This bot's alt mode is a 2014 Chevrolet C7 Corvette. Stormblade was a prominent racer on the Cybertron before the war, one who had won many races, including the final Iacon 5000. After the war began, Stormblade's righteous spark led him to join the Autobots, and from there joining Optimus Prime on the Ark for the journey that would eventually lead to Earth. Once the Autobots woke up and the war resumed, Stormblade became forward recon, but thoroughly enjoyed that Earth had racing culture almost as rich as that of Cybertron, or even Velocitron. He mostly went for street races, as the informality, and vague legality, of the less formal style, which meant that rumors were traded hands more often, and rumors led to intelligence. One such race was crashed by the Decepticons, and Stormblade was forced to transform in order to save a human woman whose car was wrecked by the attacking cons. The woman Stormblade saved quickly bonded to him, and they were teamed up in fighting the Decepticons. So, let's get this BLT started, shall we? The books you'll need to get from Renegade Games to make the character as I have made it here are the Core Rulebook, Enigma of Combination, and the Transformers 1 Sourcebook. So let's start off with all the stuff you want to grab before getting any further levels. Influence. Stormblade is a rather complicated guy, and I have a few ideas I really want to put in here, so we're going with the full 3 influences. The first is Racer, because this boy wants to go fast. The second is Stalwart from Transformers 1. This is a lovely little influence, and it can really turn the tides in battle. So, turn your failures into wins. That's what I say. And the last is Binary Bonded from Enigma of Combination. This is a really great influence, and it lets you get other perks to start with. And the one I'm picking is Human Companion. Now, as I've said before, I love the companion perks. They are really good, and it takes no effort on your part for them to level up, which is something great. Comparing that to a mini-con or like a G.I. Joe pet, where you have to invest in skills, these feel really great. What does not feel great is that they only get 2 out of your 4 influences. So, talk to your GM about how these characters can get those other influences. Personally, I give them the other 2, but without the bonuses you get from the companion perk. Other GMs I've talked to have them get these perks and while they do level up, just not as quickly. So, talk to your GM. I'm sure they can be reasonable. Now, with 3 influences, you also have to pick up 2 hang-ups. The first is impulsive, which, this guy wants to go fast, he's a racer, completely makes sense. And the second is codependent, also from Enigma of Combination. This pairs up excellently with the binary bonded influence that we got. You just select your human companion in this case, and the 2 of you just get bonuses stacked on top of bonuses. So what's not to love about that? Origin. If you couldn't tell, our boy likes to go fast, so we're going to go with Champion. Champion is an excellent core rulebook origin, and I do really like it a lot. The perk you get from this origin is called I Know a Bot, and since he's a social guy, it makes sense. He knows people. He's been around. And for this origin, I also selected +1 to the social essence, which is of course really great to go with that I Know a Bot. And for the skill, I went with a selection of Streetwise. A note for Stormblade, Streetwise is not being used in your typical intent as a social skill. He's going to be using it more as like an urban navigation thing. It'll make a little bit more sense a little later on. Role. Being a bot that's all about forward observation, I wanted to give Stormblade a role that fits that idea, so I went with Scout. Scout is a very fun class and very agile. The first thing it gives you is the Cybertronian perk, Disappear, which does exactly as it says on the tin, and I love it. Nothing like being able to go invisible for just a moment to really put yourself in that advantage. Speaking of advantages, the next perk it gives you is Ally Awareness. This perk is great about keeping in mind where your friends are, and, not mixing them up with your allies. After that, we get the perk Forward Observation, which is just great. It lets us take alertness more often, and a lot of good scout stuff really wants us to have a nice alertness. Last but certainly not least is Keen Sensors. This lets us pick a sense and really just amp it up to 11, and I decided to go with Sight because drivers need to go with Sight. If you've seen the really ridiculous movie Speed Racer, then you'll understand why. And go watch Speed Racer, that movie is amazing. The Scout role also gives us a +1 to our Speed Essence, which I'm putting into the Initiative skill because we want to go fast, we want to go first. And +1 to our Social Essence, and I'm using that to put a point into Alertness. Thank you, Forward Observation. Focus. Okay, real talk. The entire reason why Stormblade is a Scout is for this focus. And the whole reason for this focus is its level 1 perk, Burn Rubber. I mean, if you're a race car, it's what you're going to want to do. So let's burn rubber, and I love it. This focus also gives us a +1 to our Speed Essence, and we're putting that directly into the driving skill, because race car, and we want to go fast, and we don't want to smash our face into anything. Faction. This good boy is an Autobot through and through, so he gets the faction perk for the Allspark, because who doesn't want to be working with Optimus Prime and other car bots? Gear. For the internal slots, we're going to go with a very simple blaster and close combat blade. These things are relatively simple, they take a lot of upgrades, so there's no reason not to just love the daylights out of them. I always like to imagine that these are integrated into the arms, so a good blaster on one arm and an arm blade on the other. Knife hands. However, in the external slots, I wanted to do some kind of big, scary signature piece. So I went with what I'm calling a thermal katana. It's a medium blade, and when I can, I'm going to use my requisition to give it the blazing upgrade, and also deadly if I can. But blazing first and foremost, because hot knife through butter is a real thing. Essence step. As always, the essence step is a really important step. It lets you get prerequisites or set yourself up for success in the future, or if you want, you can also try to balance your points out to try to give yourself a really good Energon score. So, I always like to use the recommended spread of 4-3-3-2, and applying that to Stormblade, we're going to put that +4 into the speed essence. This is a key essence, and we really want to make sure everything goes well. As for the skills, we're going to put +2 into driving, and +2 into finesse. These are two highly important skills, and the finesse is our primary combat stat. After that, the first +3 goes into the strength essence. Another one we don't want to neglect. So for this, we're going to put +1 to athletics, because we're a sporty guy, +1 into brawn, because we want to be able to lift and push and hurt things, and +1 in conditioning, because we don't need an excuse to have more hit points, do we? The next +3 goes into the smarts essence. Here we're going to put 1 more point into alertness, and 2 points into survival. Even though he lives his life out on the track, he lives his job out in the woods. And the last +2 we're going to put into social, and put both of those points into streetwise. Now I do plan on specializing in the future, so keep an eye out on that.
Hey, you've made it this far into the video. Thank you for that. Seems like you're liking the video, so please show that you do by hitting the thumbs up button down below. Maybe leave a comment, tell me what you're enjoying.
Well, now that we've established the beginning, let's get to the leveling up process. This time we're going all the way to level 10 to get the complete build. Level 2. Level 2 is a great level, and it gives us the perk Mark Target. This lets us designate a particular enemy that we want to say, I don't know, screw that guy in particular. I really like it, and it's quite fun. Level 2 also gives us a +1 to the speed essence, which I'm putting into driving, but mostly the specialization of land driving. This lets us get a bit more advantage when trying to take tight corners and the like. Level 3. Level 3 is another great focus perk, which really helps us lean into the drive fast aspect of our lives. The perk we get is called Barrel Through, and oh goodness, can this be handy and or dandy whenever you like. I'm not going to go into too much detail, really check this out, and it's so fun. Simple, but effective. Level 3 also gives us a +1 to our smarts essence, which we're going to put into survival. This is the leaning more into the scouting aspect, since this is a focus perk level. Level 4. Level 4 is a great level. I love these general perk levels. So the general perk we're getting is Fast, as if anyone had any other idea of what it could be. Fast is a fantastic perk, and it does exactly as it says on the tin. It lets us go faster. And when you combo that with Burn Rubber, it is so good. Level 4 also gives us a +1 to our social essence, which we're going to put into the streetwise specialization of transportation. Now, as I said earlier, the streetwise is going to be used more for navigation, and now that we have it as a specialized thing, it makes more sense. Makes his way around town. Level 5. Level 5 gives us a bonus to our Disappearing Act with the perk Hidden in Plain Sight. This is a really fun and thematic thing, and if you play it off right, you're going so fast you just disappear. It's great. Fittingly, we also get a +1 to our speed essence, and this time I'm going to put that into initiative. Again, go fast by going first.
Level 6. Level 6 is so fun, and it helps us stay alive. The perk we get at this level is called Scramble, and as it says right in the book, speed is always the answer. This is a wonderful defensive perk, and really take a close look because it works so good. We also get a +1 to our strength, which I'm going to be putting into athletics. This is a fun little perk, and even though we don't have grenades, it'll still be useful. Level 7. Level 7's perk, Hindsight, is just thematic as heck. It's the best part of heist movies, where you get the flashbacks. Yeah, I love this perk. Although it doesn't have a huge deal of combat applications like some other things we have, this is so good, especially in the between combat downtime. Oh, give me more of that, please. Speaking of give me more, we're going to get +1 to our Smarts Essence, which is always nice to have, and I'm going to be putting that into Alertness, making us a better scout overall. Level 8. Oh yeah. This is one of those levels where we get to pick ourselves another general perk, and this time I am picking Daredevil. Because of our human companion, we will be spending more time in alt mode than most other bots, so its restrictions on its bonuses to alt mode are kind of negated. And it does exactly what we want. It gives us a bonus to initiative, it gives us a bonus to driving, all the really good things. So this is a great perk, especially for Stormblade. This level also gives us a +1 to our social essence, and for this time I'm going to get a specialization in alertness for situational awareness. Again, we want to be able to see what we're doing and not crash into stuff, and I could think of no better way to use this point in social. Level 9. I gotta admit, Level 9's perk, Mimicry Vocoder, is not really Stormblade's thing. I've had other scouts in the past who would absolutely love this one. This one, it's one of those levels where it doesn't quite fit the build perfectly. But hey, it is still fun to use because who doesn't want to copy other people? Right? Right. Maybe it's the voice actor in me. But what it does give that we absolutely will use is a +1 to our Speed Essence. Oh, I love that Speed Essence. And we're going to put that point right into driving, because we want to go fast and driving is important. Level 10. Level 10 is a really great perk, and it's called Roll With It. And as you can imagine, it's exactly what we want to do, inside and out. I really like this perk, and I think you will too. Just try it out, read it carefully, and use it well. And of course, that brings us down to our essence score, another +1 to speed, and that is just so good. And this particular time, I'm also going to give +1 to finesse because we've been neglecting our weapon skills, and I figured just a little bit better would be nice. And at this point, for what I wanted for Stormblade, I'm done. This guy is fast, he's agile, he thinks well, he navigates, he does everything you want a scout to do, and everything you want a race car to do. He's a combination of Speed Racer and Ricky Bobby, and I just love how that's how he turned out. A quick note about Stormblade's human companion. I named her Sandy. Stat-wise, her primary essence scores should be Speed and Smarts, with her skills primarily being Driving, Targeting, Technology, and Alertness. She's there to help cover some of the gaps in Stormblade's skills, other than driving. Well, with all of that being said, here's where I'm going to say, thank you all for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. If you have enjoyed this video, check out the links down below for links to the artist, my editor, and of course my merch market. And best of all, my Patreon campaign, where you can get a variety of rewards, including early access to all my videos. Thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you all on the next one. And I'd like to give a special shout out to all my patrons who help make these videos possible. Aaron Smith, Brian Pelfrey, Chris Armstrong, Dennis Detman, Harry Thompson, and Mark Milius. Thank you all so much for your contributions. I wouldn't have this channel without you. Thank you very much.